Hi, how's it? We're in the next part, so please go check out the previous part to gauge your bearings. I was talking about having landed Go Botswana. My feelings of foreboding were there. I was also speaking about what it would take for me to accommodate like traveling all the way to another country, how a man would have had to have put on quite the ornate, spectacular show of honor, and having worked really hard, basically bent over backwards, jumped through hoops to make me accept his proposal, and also like just embark on processes now to get passports and everything to even so much as move into his country. But yeah, that's where I was at. And then I was telling you guys about how I landed ko jarateng ele ya ko Mapetla that belonged to my grandmother's best friends back in the day, and was representative in this dream of a space that I didn't want to be in, even though it wasn't abusive of me. It was not my first price, right? As I landed there, right, only then, for the first time, I understood it to be my first epiphany about this man. Like, after Botswana, after landing, like I'm in Botswana now, and what's left is for us to go through all the ceremonies of getting married. But when I landed, I saw through the walls. I landed in outside Jarataya, this house where I grew up in for 2 years of my life. I was able to see through the walls with x-ray vision almost. My husband, he did not receive me. He was not the first one to receive me when I arrived. Like, you know how when you get to the airport and there's a dude holding up a placard written Karabo, I'm the love of your life, and you're like, hey, and it's looking all like, you know, Sleepless in Seattle type sweet romantic scene. This dude did not meet me at the airport or at the door of this house. He was inside, like he was like against a wall. Oh, God have mercy. And it was him, but he looked like a black horse. Okay, so Lord have mercy. There are so many elements to this dream, but I have to explain it with clarity, okay? When I was a teenager, my cousin, I told you guys that we grew up Kotladi Soweto, but then as we got older, our parents moved out. My grandmother passed away, and my best cousin, her dad, inherited the house. And they still lived Kotladi. So, Gadi holidays, I would sometimes go there. And now I was like 16, 17 years old, right? 17. Yeah, 16, 17. I was 17 years old, right? Visiting my cousin, who was also the same age as me, 17 at the time. Gadi June holidays. That particular year. I think it was 2001, okay? Went to her house. My cousin was a little bit of a fast one, right? Like, I was the prudish, innocent girl that's never seen things, right? But she was, you know, smoking, she was drinking, she was partying and all that jazz. But she was my best friend, so I visited her. So, she introduced me. We traveled to some other house up the road. Komletsane, right? No, Muletsane is that, whatever, yeah, give a point. Komletsane. And then after getting this girl, Ralo Chaka, also another house called Ladi, where there was like these guys chilling, like a whole bunch of boys. When we got there, on the first day when I arrived at my cousin's house, or the next morning, these boys, one guy. So my cousin was dating this one dude. My cousin's friend was dating this other dude. And I was the only one there single. And you know how it is when you're teenagers. They like, oh, we're chilling with a whole bunch of guys here, and we're smoking weed, and we're drinking booze. So who's your cousin? She's cute. And then they will try and get with you. Like the dudes, Baling Mo, will try, but that you're hanging out with. They'll be like, there are 2 chicks here, and there's like 5 of us. They've just brought a 3rd chick, and I'm gonna go and pounce on that. I'm gonna try and hit on that. So there was this guy that was like Nadula ko the house and rich haketse. Let's say his name was Tabo. We went to Tabo's house, and Tabo was friends with Iskim sa abanye abafana bas mebahlale Rockville. Go Fox Lakey, Dlamini, that side, ne? But he stayed in our hood. He stayed Komletsan, right? Not far from Tladi. You guys know that whole neighborhood, right? And so they used to smoke weed. Like, he was a pothead from like here to Timbuktu. I had never in my life smoked weed at that stage. They would like gather together, these teenagers. Like, the oldest person there was like 20 or 21. Yeah, the oldest person there was like 21. Okay, we ranged in age from like 17 to 21. 17, 18, 19, 21. 17 to 21, yeah. Like 4 years, yeah. Just a bunch of kids, alright? Just doing some strange things there. So we went to go visit there at that joint, and there was cigarette smoking, lots of it, and that's where I actually picked up the habit to bam. I used to smoke cigarettes. Peer pressure, like it started at that age of 17. Anyway, whatever, right? So I'm at this place. I'm the only girl there that's single. Anyway, my cousin has a boyfriend. My cousin's friend has a boyfriend up in this grill, and we got there at like 2 p.m. in the afternoon. No, we got there like even earlier than that, like 11. You know, when you're teenagers, you go up, you clean the house real quick, and then you go and you hang out somewhere where you're gonna go smoke weed. Anyway, whatever. So we got there maybe at like 11, 12, and at 11, 12. All the other boys were either we're in high school, so it's school holidays, and because of school holidays, anybody that is a school attendee, a high school attendee, was able to be there. But other kids were in university, other kids were in college, technicon, others were working 9 to 5s, call center jobs, so they trickled in only gaboma 5 p.m, gaboma 6 p.m type thing, you know. That's when they trickled in. But in the early hours, like gabo 11, it was the unemployed ones that had matriculated. However, the one wako technicon or college that decided not to go to school today, and of course the high school kids were there because it was school holidays. So during the day it was scantily clad, where a lot of like, what is this, the attendees, like people, boys that were there. It was just us 3 girls, by the way. A whole bunch of boys, and the majority of them were either at school, their entry-level jobs, or university or technicon or college. The 3 of us girls, the friend of my cousins was a first-year student at Wits Tech, right? But my cousin and I were like high school kids type establishment thing. So it was me, my cousin, and my cousin's friend, alongside 2 or 3 of these like random boys that don't have jobs, they just bums at home staying there. And we visited the one dude in the afternoon, and we chilled and we hung out and we chilled, and this dude was busy on some who your cousin is. Guys, yes, peer pressure will wreak havoc in your life. Yes, well, this dude wanted me so high and so low. He has such a heavy crush on me that like he was basically like, hey, like, what's up, yo, what's good? This was the first day. Like, he's busy hitting on me like hard, do you understand? And I'm like, I'm not sure about this guy. He was just some scrawny little yellow bone that I wasn't even interested in, and on top of that, I was, like, no, I don't have to be making out with anybody here. I don't have to be. But I just felt so pressurized by this guy's pursuit. And that same evening when we went home, my cousin was like, let's say, I said his name was Tabo. Tabo really likes you. Hey, Tabo really likes you. I was like, okay. Okay. The next day, because we were there every day, my weed and I tried my first blunt or go that house type thing. I hated it. I've never liked it. Taking drugs never sat well with me. Alcohol never sat well with me, or cigarettes. That's why I was able to quit the stuff so cold turkey. So we went back home. The next day we returned there, and this dude was still like, who your cousin is, who your cousin is, who your cousin is, who. Next